you have to look at the fact that that's wrong. You can't give something to somebody without their consent of knowing what's in the product. People can lose their jobs. Everything of the worst can happen with this situation. If you look at the fact that Makedas was selling all these cookies to everybody in Memphis, and then no one even thought that this was going on. Look, young Dolph, he didn't know that they was doing this whole operation under his whole little company.
So look, if you've been paying any kind of attention to the laws in Memphis and Tennessee or surrounding, you would actually know that in the last summer, they passed in the fall, they passed the law saying that people could have loud, and they had a little bit higher than normal limit to how much gas it could be. So look, that started up a lot of business owners who wanted to get into the space, so they started applying for these licenses. Dolph got one of the licenses. You got to make a certain amount of money in in the bank account for them to actually even let you get this license. So, because they didn't even want people like Dolph to get the license, but he got it. And the thing is that they were gonna have Makedas as a place for edibles. And here's the breakdown. So you know Makeda's butter cookies, right? And you know how they got the butter cookies in quotations? Word on the street is that's some dank butter. That's butter infused. And so when you order a certain type of cookie, they put the special butter in it and get you right. That's why they're taxing so much on these cookies. I was reading through the comments, everybody saying, why are they charging $30 for a pack of cookies? And come to think of it, it's $30 for cookies, just like the strain, just like the company. So you got to read between the lines. And like I said, with the laws a certain way in Tennessee, they made it to where somebody that had a legit business can actually operate one of these. And they were going to have Makedas legally doing it. And this is all alleged and was potentially going on under the table already. Because if you knew, like in Colorado when that stuff started out, and in Cali, people already got low keys, like kind of like them speakeasies, kind of like them, what you call it, like in Chicago, the mafia people who had the bars underground during Prohibition, just like that. They had been doing this under the table at Makedas with the butter. So now when that law passed and they signed that paperwork saying that Makedas was going to be doing this type, making these things, and they were going to, you know how they distribute the cookies to the grocery stores already? They were going to make the edibles to put into the dispos. And so when they signed that paperwork and Dolph was the head owner of everything but private owner, there was one clause in there that said if anything happened to Dolph, that Makedas and them will be the beneficiary of all that money, the revenue that's about to come from these massive orders they about to get on these edibles, these edible cookies. And so this is kind of what started, the shakiness of the relationship between the cookie shop and Dolph, because they realized that, hey, Dolph about to make like 100 mil off of this, and they're only getting like 800,000 at the end of the year. But Dolph gonna get 100 mil, as far as the whole value of the company goes. The envy, the jealousy, the hate started coming in. They were like, man, if we take, they thought about it and said, you know what? If it's a hit on Dolph and something happened, we gonna end up being able to be the majority owners. And that's kind of where the thoughts started spreading, and the money was put on his head due to some collaborations. And so that's that.
And you have to look at Makeda's. Raven is hiding out right now. She was in the feds for questioning. They let her out. you never know what's gonna happen with Makedas. You see, they're trying to tear down Makedas. They're trying to ruin the whole memorial, everything. So you have to pay attention to what's going on. They taking everybody down one by one, and it's sad how the whole Memphis is basically against each other right now. You have to pay attention. Like a lot of people don't want like young Dolph, like the legend gone, like just the whole feeling of young Dolph being around helping people. A lot of people sitting there like trying to basically like get Dolph to be in a circle. Like people know that Dolph helped everybody. A lot of people know that Makedas was the spot they went to, but they didn't know what was really going on. Like that's why when Raven called for JoJo Splat to basically pull up, like that's why everything fell down to pieces. It's like a domino effect. Like you gotta watch who you bring in your circle. You gotta look at that like basically put that in front of everything.
Exactly. So it's just that this, we already kind of knew this because y'all were smart. Y'all were saying in the comments that it was allegedly edibles being backdoored out that cookie shop. And due to the fact that they had that connection with Dolph and he was going to take it to the next level is very believable. And it does make sense to why Dolph would even want to be associated with them at all, because he knows that this is his way to get his foot in the door in this huge $1 billion industry. I mean, potentially even $1 trillion. You think of how many, you see more places where you could get loud from than places where you could get coffee and gas for your car. And so the fact that he was about to make it super big and have multiple franchises and vertically own like the everything as far as the farm, he was gonna have the farm, he was gonna have the cookie shop, and he was gonna have a couple other places medicinal, like pharmacy type ones, you know, drive-throughs, all type of stuff, delivery services. So he was really about to take off in that direction. But they read in the paperwork and knew that these loophole that if something happened to him, that they're gonna become the beneficiary and be able to get the majority. That's the key thing that actually will have them motivated to try to pull off something like this. But make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. It's really heating up now, and we're getting closer and closer. So hit us in the comments with the questions and share the video and hit the like button.